At last, Johnson on the Gregory boat is nearing the Magic Island. But Johnson will arrive at the island as a prisoner and not a rescuer. Jerry and Joan were ordered to go in the Euclidean submarine and aid in the capture of Johnson's boat, while the captain and Mrs. Gregory have seen and heard all that took place in the submarine through the wonderful prism reflectors in G-47's control chambers. The submarine is towing the Johnson boat, which has run out of fuel. They are only a few miles from Euclidia, the Magic Island. Mrs. Gregory and Captain Bradford are now back on their captive yacht, inside a lock in the submerged island. The alarm gong on the island has been ringing, and Mrs. Gregory and Tex are trying to learn the meaning of the signals.
There it is again, Tex. The same signal we heard before.
Yes, Pat, but the last time we heard it, it meant to standby stations. Then they submerged this island.
Well?
The island's all the way down now. The surface of it is 40 feet below the water level. They can't submerge it anymore.
Just the same, there's the signal. Oh, Tex, I'm getting so worried down here in this dark lock. It was better in G-47's control room. At least we could see and hear what was going on, and we knew that Joan and Jerry were all right in that submarine.
Jerry and Joan are all right, whether we watch them or not.
Is this radio all right now?
It works fairly well, but it wouldn't be a good idea for us to try sending with it.
I didn't mean that, Tex. Just so it works well enough that we can hear Johnson if he talks to Jerry in the submarine.
Poor Johnson. I'll bet his face was a study when that sub picked up his bow anchor with a magnet and started to tow him to this island.
Doesn't it seem strange to you that Johnson hasn't sent any message since that?
I don't think so. There's nothing for him to send one about. It's just the end of a good try on his part, and he's failed. I imagine he doesn't feel a whole lot like talking to anyone.
Tex, 4 strokes of the alarm gong. That should mean the 4th level. The island's going up again.
I think you're right, Pat. That must mean that the battleships are all safely out of the way. Johnson's boat is near enough that they're getting the island out of the water so the submarine can land the captive boat at one of the piers.
Then Joan and Jerry will be back with us again. I won't care much what happens if I can only keep them near me all the time.
Yes, and once I get Johnson on this island with the materials he has on that boat, it shouldn't take us long to figure a way out of this.
But G-47 will take the materials away from you the minute the boat lands.
Oh, will you quit worrying so much, Pat? We'll get off this island if it takes a year. Now, just try to take it easy and leave the rest to me.
The 3rd level, Tex. We're really going to get up out of this awful dark at last.
Looks like it. I hope they let us take the yacht back out into the open water between the piers again. I don't like this living in a hole underwater myself.
That's right. G-47 may not want the yacht outside again.
I don't think he'll object to that. Doesn't look much like we'd run away with a broken mast and these smashed cabin roofs.
And will we be allowed to remain on the yacht?
G-47 said we could. He hasn't room for us to live on the island and no time to build quarters for us.
Remember that the aerial is broken, and when the anchor leaves the floor of this steel lock, the radio won't work anymore.
Well, just as soon as we get outside in the open air again, I'll fix up an aerial fast enough. 2nd level, huh? Things sure move on this island.
Only another minute or two, and the top of the island will be out of the water.
Yes, and if we don't hear from G-47 pretty soon about getting this yacht out of this lock, I'll go and ask him.
And that's probably G-47 now.
I suppose it is. Come in.
Oh, well, Skipper, come in.
And close the door.
Island
What about the island?
rising.
Yes, Skipper, we know. The island will soon be out of the water.
Have you heard whether we're to be allowed to take the yacht out of this lot?
Yep.
We are to be allowed to take it out?
Aye.
How did you find out this?
The 1st level. Then the steel control chambers on the surface are coming out of the water now. We'll soon be out.
Aye.
Did G-47 tell you we could take the yacht back out?
Yep.
Has he been down here on this boat talking to you?
Aye.
Funny he didn't call on us, isn't it, Tex?
Will.
He's on the boat now?
Aye.
Well, what's he doing here?
Looking.
Looking at what, Skipper?
Anchor.
What's he looking at our anchor for?
Radio.
Oh, of course, Tex. He's figured out that the broken aerial wires mixed up in the anchor chain have given us a good aerial.
Yeah, and he's probably doing something to it right now, so it won't be any good. Send him in here, Skipper, will you?
Aye.
And don't tell him you've told us he's on board.
Aye.
So, the old boy's been sneaking around out there on the deck looking things over.
I wouldn't worry too much about that, Tex. He told the skipper we could take the yacht out and anchor it in open water again.
Well, I hope it's right away, then. I've got a notion something's going to happen before very long.
This will be G-47.
Yeah. Come in.
Oh, G47. Come in, won't you?
Oh, thank you.
We've been wondering if you wouldn't pay us a visit before long. The island seems to be rising again, and we'd like to take the yacht back outdoors if you don't mind.
Oh, you will be allowed to take the yacht out again. It will make Mr. Johnson feel more at home to be welcomed by his friends.
Yeah, some welcome. One prisoner welcoming another to jail.
Never mind that now, Tex. Will Johnson's boat be brought in at Pier 5? Will it lie near us?
I think that will be advisable. Then, when the time comes for the destruction of these boats, it will be simpler if they are in contiguous slips.
Destroy them?
Steady, Pat. I expected that remark.
The lock gates are opening now, if you care to listen.
Oh, Tex, listen. The gates are open. The water levels in the locks are evening up.
Sounds good to me. I've had enough of this dark lock.
Tex, look, the portholes. You can see the daylight even back here in this lock.
Now, the magnets are beginning to actuate this craft. We will soon be in the outer slip.
J-12C, Jerry Hall on Euclidean submarine to J-12C. Hello, J-12C. Hello, Johnson.
There's Jerry in the cell.
Oh, it's good to hear him again.
Silence. We must hear this.
Hello, Johnson. Hello. Calling J-12C. What's the matter, Johnson? We have not been able to raise your boat since we started towing you. Have important orders for landing your boat at Euclidia when we cut loose our magnets at the island.
Advise Johnson there is every possibility his boat will be wrecked on the island if he does not acknowledge and carry out these special orders.
J-12C. Hello, J-12C. This is emergent. Answer at once.
Will this transmitter work, Captain?
It will if your magnetic ring doesn't stop the beam.
It will not. Break Hall at once. Try to speak Johnson. Hurry. The time is precious.
Right. Break it, Hall. Break it, Jerry. Bradford on J24Y, calling Johnson on J12C. Let me have it, Jerry. I will now send from the yacht to Johnson. Special orders. G47 on board yacht. Let me have it, Jerry.
Okay, Tex. Hello to yacht. All okay here. Go ahead, Tex. I can't raise Johnson. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jerry. Hello, Johnson. Bradford to J12C. Hello, J12C.
Something must have happened to Johnson's radio.
You will continue, Captain.
Right. J24Y to Johnson on J12C. Hello, Johnson. This is important. Can you hear me? Your boat is in danger of being wrecked against a steel artificial island unless you talk to the commander of the submarine who is towing you. Get her instructions before she casts your anchor off her magnetic towing fin. J12C, calling J12C.
What can be the matter, Tex?
Hello, Bradford.
Oh.
Hello. Can you get me?
Oh, Tex, it's all right.
Hey, Tex. I got Johnson here. Can you hear him?
Yes, I got him, kid. Let me have the channel now. Hello, Johnson. Getting you fine. What happened? No message from you for so long.
Sorry, Captain. My set has been dead. Was not advised we would be towed by magnets, and they paralyzed the set. When I heard the word magnet very faintly, I set about making a crude shield for the set. Okay now. What's the orders?
Tell him to take his orders from the commander of the submarine.
Hello, Jerry. J24Y to Jerry Hall on submarine. Hello, Sub.
Okay, Tex. Go ahead.
G47 authorizes me to tell you commander of sub is to give orders directly to Johnson. That all, G47?
Have the commander advise me speed and distance from island.
Commander, Bradford to S1.
Yes, proceed, Captain Bradford.
Will you give orders to Johnson, then report to G47 on your position and speed?
Very good. S1 to Johnson. S1 calling J12C.
Go ahead, S1. Johnson on J12C. Ready, S1. Go ahead.
We are 15 knots from island. Stand by when within 1 knot of island. I will cut magnets off. You will be released directly opposite opening into slip you are to use. Have you auxiliary power on board to take yourself in? Last few hundred yards. Reply.
Johnson to submarine commander. Have small electric motor. Should be good for 2 miles or more. Uncharged. Now in batteries. What about this island slip? Have received some wild messages supposedly from there. Is island surrounded by fog ring? Will I need pilot?
No, your power will be clear. That is all, Johnson. G47. Commander F1 to G47.
Proceed, Commander.
Making 10 knots. Position due north of island. 28 degrees, 45 minutes south. Should be at Pier 5 in 90 minutes. Orders.
No orders. Proceed as you are. Your instructions to Johnson, excellent. That is all.
Very good.
Just an hour and a half and Johnson will be here. I'm glad to see him even if he can't help us. I'll be more than glad to get Jerry and Joan out of that submarine.
Oh, that'll help a lot.
You may expect me again when the boat is near. You may now use your radio as much as you care to.
Tex, look, that sunshine. Let's go out on deck.
Right, dear. Come on. A little daylight won't do me any harm.
Oh, this is glorious. I've never appreciated the light as I do this minute.
Shows up that broken mast and the shattered cabin pretty badly, though. Say, that little pigeon was in his coat when the mast fell.
Oh, I wonder if he's hurt.
We'll know in a minute. Pat, come here. Look in the coat, quick.
Oh, Tex, the little bird isn't hurt, is it?
No, but Pat, look.
Tex, another pigeon in there, with a message tied to him. He must have arrived the instant the yacht came out.
Yes, and that's one of the pigeons from Johnson's boat. We've still got a chance, Pat. There'll be something in that message we can use before Johnson's boat is brought in here.
The Magic Island is once more visible above the surface of the sea. That is, it's visible when the ring of magnetic fog is not surrounding it. The Euclidean submarine has brought the captured rescue boat with Johnson and the crew helpless on board to within a short distance of the island. Captain Tex Bradford and Mrs. Gregory are anxiously awaiting the arrival of Johnson's boat, as they know something about Johnson which no one else knows. They received a message by homing pigeon just before the submarine arrived with Johnson's boat in tow. Jerry and Joan are talking in the submarine as it prepares to cast off Johnson's boat.
Oh, boy. We're nearly back to the island, Joan.
Yes, Jerry. And when we do get back, your Mr. Johnson will be a prisoner, and my mother's other boat will be tied up to the island just as useless as her yacht is now.
I know all that, but this fellow Johnson's plenty smart, and he might have a trick or two up his sleeve that the Euclideans don't know anything about.
I can think of nothing favorable now.
Well, for one thing, remember what I told you about this woman commander on the submarine? She'll be on our side if she sees a chance to get to the world with us.
Now, Jerry, that is silly. Just because she was interested in hearing about my mother's beautiful clothing and some of the things in your world, that does not mean
It means that she's willing to listen when I talk about how swell our world is. And if she listens long enough, and if she'll only come out and meet your mother, it's in the bag.
In the bag? What is in what bag?
I mean, it's signed, sealed, and delivered. Your name on the dotted line. Oh, well, never mind. I'll tell you some other time.
It would be well to postpone any further discussion of your commander until she is unable to hear you.
Gee whiz. I forget about that blamed speaker thing all over the submarine.
You forget so many things, Jerry.
Precisely. Now, Hall, you will maintain silence during the next operation. Absolute silence.
Yes'm. Very good, Commander.
SE-1.
Yes, Commander.
Drop the charge in the stern magnetic fin. Release the anchor of that boat immediately.
Right. Release anchor.
Well done. Set your course in a small circle. Cut speed to 3 knots. We will circle and escort this boat to Pier 5.
Speed now 3 knots. Circle with a radius of 100 yards.
Correct. Distance from island?
500 yards.
Approximately?
No, exactly 500 yards at point dropped anchor tow.
Excellent. Continue circle to position paralleling port side of boat. Lay to at his speed. Conduct him to starboard slip, Pier 5.
Very good.
S1 to G47. Commander S1 to G47, reporting submarine ES1.
All those letters make me hungry for some alphabet soup.
Oh, Jerry, you must be quiet.
G47 receiving your report, S1. Proceed.
Dropped anchor tow 500 yards due north of Pier 5. Johnson boat will use small motor and enter slip under his own power. Think not advisable to take the ES1 into Pier 5 slip with Gregory yacht there now. We are just completing circle to pick up boat and convoy it to Pier 5. Will then proceed to dock ES1 in regular submarine berth number 6. That is all. S1 to G47.
Well executed, SE1. Report immediately upon arrival. That is all. G47 to S1.
You, Hall, and you, Cleostra, maintain your positions in the stern section. I will join you for special orders regarding your actions when we arrive at the island.
Look, Joan. She's turned off the speaker gadget so we can't be heard all over the boat.
What can that be for, Jerry?
She's going to tell us something she don't want old Stoneface up there to hear.
Oh, Jerry, that ridiculous idea of yours that the commander is friendly to us will get us into very serious trouble if you're not careful.
Well, leave it to me, Joan. I'll fix it.
Fix it? Is something broken, Jerry?
Look, I'll sell her the idea. Put over the deal. Oh, forget it. Just listen and you'll get the idea.
Even though I made it possible for you to talk in comparative comfort, Hall, it should not be necessary for you to shout.
I'm sorry. Golly whiskers.
Jerry, the commander will not know what you mean by that terrible slang.
You are right in a measure, Cleostra. To understand the gibbering sounds which Hall uses as a method of expression, one would of necessity revert to the educational standard of the Stone Age. But the forceful gestures and grotesque manipulations of the facial muscles which accompany his outburst reveal his meaning quite plainly.
I get it. The words are too much for you, but the music strikes a responsive chord.
You see, Commander, Jerry does know how to use big words when he wants to.
A more frequent desire would do him credit.
Well, look, Commander, I don't want to break up your class, and if you feel like having some fun with me when I'm stuck where I can't help myself, okay. But if you've got those special orders you were talking about, we'd better get them before we hit the island.
Jerry, you should not suggest the commander's procedure.
It is quite all right, Cleostra. I have no orders to give either of you, but I have a few words of advice which you would do well to follow.
Oh, sure. Advice is what we want plenty of. What's on your mind?
Jerry means, to what advice did you have reference?
I had made the translation myself, Cleostra. And the more I hear of this young man's free manner of speaking and his obvious ignorance, the greater is my curiosity to learn something further of the world outside.
See? What did I tell you, Joan? What did I tell you?
Now, Jerry, please.
Well, Cleostra, what did he tell you?
I think it would not be wise to repeat it.
Very well. You tell me, Hall.
Well, gee, to come right out and tell you, it's not so easy, but, well, I'll try.
Please do not, Jerry.
Silence, Cleostra. You may proceed, Hall.
Well, I guess this puts me in plenty bad if I'm wrong, but I got it figured that you're on our side.
I am not sure I follow you.
I mean that you're not so crazy about all this Euclidean stuff, acting like a bunch of machines and talking about going out and conquering the world. A beautiful girl like you, commanding the submarine, thinking of going across the ocean one of these days and blowing up somebody's country. Why, you ought to be like girls back home, going out to dances and parties and seeing shows and, well, all those things. I'm going to teach Joan how to do all of them when we get back to the world.
Jerry, you have made the commander very angry.
Oh, I can't help it. I had a hunch to say it, and I said it.
No, I am not angry. All my life I have been taught the stupidity of you worldlings and the brilliance of we Euclideans. Yet you are happy. You see pleasures and recreations worth living for. You feel the desire to live, even though... No, enough of this. You will forget that it has been said. Your lives depend upon your silence. Make no mistake about that.
Oh, yes, Commander. It is forgotten.
Yes, Commander. It's forgotten.
That is well. Now I return to my duty. The speakers will be turned on. You will preserve silence as we land this boat. And you will preserve silence in all matters.
You see, Jerry, It did no good. And now I feel that we have a definite enemy in the commander.
Well, don't you believe it. She told us to forget what we talked about. Swell, we'll forget it. But she won't.
Be quiet, Jerry. The tubes are beginning to glow in the central control section. The speakers are active.
Okay, but don't forget I told you so when we get a break from the girlfriend.
Position and speed, SE1.
Speed 2 knots, 125 yards due north, and Pier 5.
Good. Stop all power. Lay 2. Allow boat to proceed slip 5 under own power. You, Hall, will come forward to my control section. Cleostra, you may come also. Hurry, Hall.
Coming up. Come on, Joan. Snap into it.
What do you think the commander wants, Jerry?
Well, we'll find out in a minute.
You will sit here before the microphone, Hall. You there, Cleostra. I am going to give Johnson his exact orders regarding his landing. Also advise Captain Bradford on the yacht. It will be well to make the Johnson boat fast to the yacht. You will stand by, Hall, in the event that either Johnson or Bradford want confirmation from you.
Okay, go to it. Yes, Commander.
You are learning. Remember, silence when the red tube glows. You will call Johnson at once. Advise him to lay his boat in close to the yacht. They will be lashed together at once. That will provide for taking them both into the submarine lock in one movement in the event of another emergency.
Boy, you sure think, Commander.
Naturally. All Euclideans think. Immediately you advise Johnson, you will call Captain Bradford. Give him the same instructions regarding the disposition of Johnson's boat. Tell him to stand by to lash the boats together. That is all, Hall. Silence, Cleostra. Proceed.
J-12C. Jerry Hall on submarine to J-12C. Hello, Johnson. Hello, J-12. Emergency orders for you. Hello, J-12C. Orders from the submarine commander. Hello, Johnson. Hello.
It is possible he is saving his power to carry him into the anchorage. Raise Bradford. Give him the orders. He will be able to signal Johnson in ample time to warp the boat in properly.
Right. Jerry Hall to J-24Y. Hello, Tex. Hall to Bradford. Can you get me? Answer quick.
Yes, Jerry, I got it. Heard you signal to Johnson. What are your orders about landing the boat? I'll take them here. See the boat plainly now through the aft port in this cabin. Having more than a minute or two before he will come in between the piers. Shoot it, kid.
Signal Johnson to come in hard against your starboard rail. Lash the two boats together immediately. Orders from the commander on this sub. Got it?
Yes, bring Johnson against starboard rail and make fast at once. Got it, Jerry. Are you coming in at once?
How about it, Commander?
If G-47 has no other plans for you, you may report to Bradford when we dock.
The skipper... Oh, excuse me, Commander. The skipper says if G-47 says okay, Joan and I can report to you as soon as we dock this sinking cigar.
Okay, son. I've got some news for you. Hurry it up. I'll run out on deck to handle Johnson's boat now.
Well, I guess that's all, isn't it, Commander?
Very well done, Hall. I will take over. S1 to G-47. Commander S1 reporting the ES-1.
Unnecessary. Heard your orders to Bradford. Johnson boat is safely within reach of island magnets. Proceed to your lock. Report to me at once. That is all.
Very well, G-47. That is all. S1.
Gee, it's all over. In just a minute or two, those island magnets will pull Johnson's boat into the slip. Tex will make it fast to the yacht and... Oh, gee, I guess that's about the end of all our plans.
One moment, Hall. SE1.
Yes, Commander.
Full power tubes on. Proceed to lock at once.
Right. Power on. Proceed to lock.
Right. You will dock the ES-1 on arrival. That is all.
Oh, Jerry, we're going to see Mother and the captain in a few minutes.
Yeah, and the captain said he had some news for us. I wonder what it could be.
I think I could tell you the news the captain has for you.
You could?
Yes, I am sure I could. And it is news that will shake the island of Euclidia when it reaches the attention of G-47.
What is it, Commander?
I will not tell you.
But you said you could.
Precisely.